everyone, you're welcome back to AJOKE'S vlog. My name is Ajoke. Happy Easter, guys! Easter fam. Hope you guys have a blissful, loving Easter celebration, and I hope we stay safe and alive in love and in unity to celebrate the next year with memories of how we had Easter in isolation. So guys, I want to thank you for the love and support for the Dear African Students Going Abroad series. Like, it's overwhelming. The watch hours came up and everything, the comments, the DM on Instagram made me feel so loved. I want to say thank you, and this would be the second series of the Dear African Students Going Abroad series. So if you're new here, my name is Ajoke, and you can see I'm somewhat chic like that. So please join this gang, AJOKE'S vlog gang. Please do subscribe and let us just grow this channel, journey together, share gist, details, and everything you want to know here. Just love. It's just love, and some fun. Okay, guys, so from the thumbnail, you already know that we are talking about racism. We are talking about racism, and not just any kind of racism. We are talking of the racism that concerns us. And when I say us, I'm talking about Black students abroad mostly. So if you're Dear African students planning to go abroad, this vlog is for you, and also for other African students already studying abroad. Now, what most people would not tell you is the fact that racism exists in flesh and blood. It is not just a topic or a belief or a system of doing things in some people. Some people are just racist across all walks of life. So when I say racism exists in flesh and blood, some people has lived racism. That, like, if there is a nickname to give somebody, we can just give them racism. Like, they exist in flesh and blood. And I would not say that no matter how many years you want to spend abroad, you would come across these people. You will come across these people. That is one thing you will come across. And let me not say that it is only Black people that experience racism. There are white people, they are a segregated form of white people that experience racism. But so far so good, Black people are at the mercy of white racist people. Basically, not all white racist people. There are some people that are not white. They are not Black. They are not white. They are just in between Black and white, and they are racist. So, now, what are the things you should know about racism before coming abroad? You might not come to China. Yeah, I feel you should already know where this whole thing is coming from. I will not be able to share the details with you because the videos are depressing. For 2 days, I was not just myself till one amazing hero from the Nigerian consulate in Guangzhou, Mr. Lawal. I think you already saw him rather on Instagram, on Instablog for Nigerians and all that. You already know this amazing man who stood up and who's still standing up for Nigerians in China presently, while a lot of things is going on back home and across the African nation to settle this. Now, this is not about China, because China is not the only abroad country where Nigerians or Africans go to study. So we are just saying that I'm just saying that racism across all countries against Black people, against people of color. Like, we are human. We are all human, irrespective of whether we are Caucasian, we are Asian, we are African or American or Canadian. We are human before we belong to race. Like, even if you don't believe that God exists, so far you know that a person has a life, a person can breathe, a person has blood running through their veins, then they should be accorded a level of respect and acceptance. I'm not gonna make this vlog a thing of prejudice or stereotyping a certain part of people, a certain people, because for me it's either you are a good person or you are a bad person. It doesn't matter what your race is, it doesn't matter what your nationality is, and that is what I think people should work on as human, sensible human in the 21st century. You don't feel like because we are black or because some people are black, maybe they are like the inferior set of people, they are like the lowest kind of people. When God was creating us, even if it is Buddha or whatever you believe in, he did not say that I'm creating people to be the low. There is no lower kind of people. The only time you feel they are a lower kind of they are lower kind of people is in your head, in the concepts of humanity, in the laws of God, even in the laws of Mother Nature. If you don't believe in God, Mother Nature did not tell you that there are some kinds of lower stereotype kind of people. And I feel the problem with racism, why racism has thrived so much, is because the black community or the people of color and the African people are beginning to talk about racism from a place of defeat. We are not talking of racism from a place of awareness. We still dwell in fear of what people would do to us for talking about racism. We still fear because we want to be accepted. So we do not talk about how we are directly affected by racism. See, if you're an African student coming to abroad, I can assure you that 50% of people you would meet would treat you because of your color, not because of what you offer first. While the other 50 people will treat you because of who you are as a person, not your color. So it's a 50-50 thing. It is not a thing of tribe. It is not a thing of country. I'm not saying that it is a thing of country, because there are other African people in other countries too that have the same complaints of racism. Like the African community, the people of color are the most marginalized people across all countries outside the African continent. It is not a thing of one country or no other country. So now this is what you should know as African students coming abroad. Like, one thing the way we can always fight this racism thing is you have to be your best self. If you're struggling with self-esteem, if you're struggling with your self-worth level is so low, if you're not confident in who you are, if you're not confident in your skin, in your skills and abilities, in the peculiarities of who you are, please do not come abroad. Because this racism thing is not a thing for the timid-minded. Even the strongest person gets so low when it's badly with racism. I was talking with someone and that I respect so much, and to me she comes across as very smart and very, very, very strong. And she told me, I feel like jumping out of the window because it got to me. They did something to her and it got to her. She was like, I feel like jumping out of the window. A lot of African students across the nation, across the world, has died due to depression from racism. But now we do not say that racism is enough reason for you to kill yourself. You are not to kill yourself. You're not to take your own life. Another thing why I feel racism exists is because of the stereotype. We have so much stereotyped by the definition of some, let's just say, some bad people that exist. Like I said earlier, there are good people and there are bad people, and if you peradventure meet the bad ones, I'm trying to say to you that you should not feel like you've been stereotyped, but then stereotype exists alongside racism. So if you as an African student want to come abroad and you want to take your place against racism, you also have to be in your best behavior. You also have to be in your best behavior always. You have to realize that you're not here on your own. You're representing a nation. You're representing a continent. And the behavior you put up might define what the other person would think of your nation and of your continent. See, it is not just to blame racist people. I'm not making excuses for racist people. I'm not making excuses for black African people that are bad. But I'm just saying that some of those people would treat you based on what a person of your nationality, of your color, has done to them. Only a few people understand the concept of having a good or bad people. So you have to understand that you coming abroad, you have to brace up to be a good ambassador of your country. Even if it does not benefit you to be a good ambassador of your country, have it running in your mind, in your head, in your consciousness, that you are making life easier for somebody else. And some people will just be racist to you irrespective of how good you are. And people will tell you that love makes the world go round. But I feel it is because of the way we've allowed the Western media to tell the story of the African continent. It's high time the African people across the nation take hold of the narrative of how they come across telling the story of their nation. It's high time we go back to history. It's high time we arm ourselves with details of history, of how good, how marvelous, how amazing, how intellectually blessed with all form of skills, brilliance, smartness, talents we have as a people. It's that time we tell our story as people that have the words of the blessing of God, of Mother Nature. We do not have to tell our story from the place of victims. There's a way you tell your story, you represent your nationality from a place of victim. There's a way you say it from a place of strength. I urge every African student, every Africans across the diaspora now to rise up and tell their story, their peculiar stories of being a black person from a place of strength, not a place of weakness, not a place of being marginalized. Everybody is awesome, everybody is smart, and you have to stand in your light and shine that light to people. We are not a people of darkness. We might be dark-skinned, but we belong to a certain kind of light, a certain kind of pride, a certain kind of blessedness that Mother Nature has given to us that can never be taken away from us, irrespective of the color, irrespective of what the African continent is going through right now. We have to tell our stories. When people come with you with facts, you have to be prepared. You have to brace up and tell your stories. And now another thing I want to tell you is that no matter what you face as being racist to you, you're not to use violence. Violence will not sort racism, actually. Violence would not sort racism. Really. Violence will not sort racism. But what I want you to know is that when people come at you with remarks that would annoy you and provoke you to anger, they are just trying to unleash a part of you that do not really exist to people, to be able to ascertain the fact that they say all black people are beasts. Like our anger can destroy us. So that is why that is mostly what some of them are doing. So when you realize someone is trying to make you angry, please, it's either you just walk away or say something to the person and just walk away. I urge us to stand up. See, I believe in my mind that the happenings, what we are experiencing now, it is not just to make us feel dejected and sink into depression. This is the call to all African nations, to Nigeria, to Togo, to Zimbabwe, South Africa, Kenya, Congo, Ghana, Egypt. So far you are African. So far you have a root, a tie to any African nation. This is a time we come across together as brothers, as sisters, united, irrespective of what differences we have, irrespective of religion, tribal, language barrier. Let us stand together. Let us dwell together in the spirit of one African mind. Because the way racism has shaken us is because the white people, the people who are so racist, would divide us with details of why we are different. Our nationalities might be different, but we stand together as one people. Whatever affects one black person will soon spread and affect 10% of the major, the high population of black people across the world. So if you're coming to any abroad country, any country in the Western, in the Asian, in Europe or anywhere, I urge you to stand in your light. This is just an encouragement. This is just a vlog to pump you up. You would experience racism, but it should not take away your light. You are not anywhere abroad to compete with anybody irrespective of their nationality. You are here to make a statement that they are good black people, that they are smart black people, that they are confident black people, that they are resourceful black people. It is time we begin to write our own history, write our own story. Make the world know that we are aware of what is going on. And this is a plea to all African leaders, irrespective of what you think is going on in your country, irrespective of how much money you think you want to steal. We are a people with pride, we are a people with integrity, we are a people with value before we became any other person. Let us stand up and demand our rights from people of colors, of other colors rather. It is high time the disparity, the disrespect of black people across all the nations of the world, it is high time it stop. African has value to offer this nation. No nation is independent without a particular value given by people of color, people of African descent. A huge number of Nigerians, a huge number of Africans are in the Western world working as doctors, holding major posts, and why would they still want to marginalize us? The old generation is gone. It's just few minutes to the end of their time on earth. The new narrative belongs to you and I. And that is why we are across the nations of the world seeking knowledge, seeking experiences. And I do not want you to ever dim your light or let go of any experiences you are blessed with. Let us run with it as experiences and write our own story. And let us take this as a challenge for us to shake and rewrite the narrative of our different continents of our countries and take the power back of who we are as African people. I believe so much in you. I believe so much in you, even if you're still in Africa and you're open to travel abroad someday. I believe so much in you. I believe in the opportunities that might come to you and you would be able to take hold of to bless and shake Africa loose from the mindset of us being lower. We are not a lower set of people to anybody. Let us run with it. Let us take charge of it. Let us come together as brothers to free the African nation, to restore the pride of this nation, to create an awareness that goes beyond our nationalities for the world. Thank you. And if you're here to subscribe to AJOKE'S vlog, please do subscribe. I hope to catch you back some other